level of that collective is wanting to do and desiring to do, as well as where the council best thinks that this collective energy can be best utilized. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. I think is Karen raised the point of free will a little while ago, and I'm just wondering how that fits. I guess it sounds like the individual, not that there are individuals, but a consciousness is pretty much on side with the council almost to begin with, based on past experiences and things like that. It's not so much the council says, okay, you're going to go to Earth, you're going somewhere else to do something else. It seems like everybody's pretty much on side with the same general mission.
Well,
but there's a confirmation.
No, we would, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we would say that the council does have, they are kind of the ultimate deciders as to where consciousness will reside, if you will, or where they will put their focus. So that is why there are only certain of us that come to Gaia, because and we have free will to some extent in the sense that we how do we explain this? We have a desire. Some of the energy that we that you call us has a desire to come and help Gaia and help mankind or humankind. And so we will ask this of the council. And if the council deems that we are evolved enough, and our desires and learnings are in the right place at the right time for the light on Gaia at the moment, then we will be able to come and help. Now, that's not to say that others cannot help from afar and from being, say, on one of our star planets and still be of assistance to humankind, because that is true as well. But it is just that those of us that are here to help you now are, let's say, for lack of a better word, will be in the physical. We're not physical for the most part, but we are here energetically for you, whereas not all of us are.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us know that we are aiding the planetary ascension called Earth, but we're not all here to literally do that. It's very hard to describe because it involves energy, and you know so little about energy systems to this point.
Yes. Well, I get the impression that you're not going to get too many rebels. If Roger, for example, says, well, council was right, I really don't want to do what you're asking me to do, that's probably not very likely to happen because you're all pretty much on the same page anyway. Am I correct in that?
Well, Roger's on the same page. He just likes to divert a little.
Yeah, he's a great example for my curiosity. Yeah.
It's, you see, people, okay, energies such as the Pleiadians that have been incarnated many times, such as Roger has been on this planet, has this peaked sense of curiosity for the rest of the universes, megaverses, whatever you want to call them. And so it is hard for an energy such as Roger's to keep himself focused, let's say, for lack of a better word. He's much better now than he was when you first met him, but he, and you know that there is everything out there in the universe, just as there is on Earth. There is, as you would call, positive and negative. There's everything in between, and there's curious, and there's those that just want to go along and be led. There are those that are activists and those that are dynamic leaders, and you know, so it's no different out here than it is where you are. It's just that it helps us to evolve by doing different things. I mean, if Roger hadn't taken off with those spaceships and gone all over who knows where, then, you know, there wouldn't have been experiences from those like Ashtar and so forth that were there to need to bring them back. So it's all about learning and moving further forward on your path and your journey. And for Roger to stay stationary, it would in a sense kill, for again wording, it would greatly diminish his spirit to have to stay put in one place for too long. And there are lots of energies in the universe that are flitting all around all the time. I mean, we are too, but we're talking primarily today about those of us that are here, either on Gaia or around Gaia, or within the experience of Gaia, let's say. It's not even necessarily just around Gaia.
Yeah, in the sense that Roger were to be stationary, he wouldn't be the teacher that he seems to be by his various adventures and experiences.
Exactly.
I've heard comments somewhere that the human range of emotion is probably broader than it is just about anywhere else in the universe. How would you position it relative to your own and relative to the rest of the universe?
Well, yes, that is true, because as a 3D individual and culture and species, you are you have what you would call negative emotions: anger, sadness, sorrow, all of those that are we're not they do serve you, because they serve you to bring up those emotions that relate to certain incidences and experiences, for you to be able to, say, move forward in a belief system. But the overall idea of the ultimate emotion, of course, is love, and you are working towards that, but you have to move through all those layers of other emotions to get there. And unconditional love is something that, other than most of your animals, you really can't comprehend the meaning of yet. So as the ascension progresses, you are better able to handle that word unconditional, and to understand the ramifications of it. It is much more than what you currently think it is. But you have to move through the negative emotions to get to the lower emotions, let's say, to get to the higher ones. And that, for you as a 3D individuals, is still necessary and difficult. That is why you have incarnated on this planet, one of the many reasons, so that you can move through the lower emotions to release them to the essence of love. So what we're showing, Karen, is it's like a teardrop, and let's say the ultimate anger, or like somebody that has the same mentality of a murderer, that well, that's not really a good example, because they don't have a concept of empathy and feelings and so forth. But somebody that's on the bottom rung, say, that's massively angered, when they start to release that, it comes up the teardrop and it comes around to the pinnacle, or the point, which is ultimate love. But there's a lot that goes on to get there, and most of you cannot get there now in these some of you will get there in the ascension process, but most of you will not. It will take several more lifetimes before you're able to maintain that unconditionality that we know of as unconditional love.
Mhm. Mm. Do trees play a role in your civilization?
Yes. The trees, like your trees, are massively important on our planets. They have wisdom and a culture, in a sense, all their own. Obviously, energetically, they share that with us. They shared it with you. Your trees shared it with you at one time. They wish to share it with you again. They've always wished to share it with you. But some of them have, and we're not quite answering your question here, but we're digressing for a moment.
No,
Some of your trees on planet Earth have withdrawn, shall we say, their energy because they know that you have, for a long, long time now, have not been able to relate to them energetically, we're talking. So you use them to make your houses and to build your furniture and to, fire your fires and you have a very limited scope of what you think trees can do for you. And as mentioned earlier, they can heal pretty much anything in the human species. So once you come to that realization, which is starting to come now, then you will view your trees very differently. We have always had an energetic relation to our trees. And we still do, because we honor them, just like the indigenous honored and still do honor the trees on Gaia now. We know that they have a different energetic system than we do, and we need to learn from them as they need to learn from us. So it has always been an honoring, a respect, not a bowing down, but that kind of a reverence for our trees, because they are massively important to the planet. They energetically pretty much literally hold it together, and their energy goes right to the actual core of our planets.
Mm. I've heard it said that, I don't know if it's your civilization or another one, that you consult the trees regularly for some of the big decisions.
Sorry?
You consult the trees
Oh, yes.
frequently when you're approaching big decisions. Is that the case with the Pleiadians?
Yes. The trees have, the trees, as your trees on Earth, have, in a sense, been there longer than our energy has been on our planets. Because they are so involved with the evolution of the planet, they are massively wise and knowledgeable, and they hold an energy that we are aspiring to. And we cannot really explain it in English words or any other language, earth language words right now, than to say that their energy is so different that we are always honored to be able to absorb it. And this is the way the energy will work with your trees once you get back to that place and time where that you were able to understand them better in your past, because you honored them, you revered them, they revered you, and the energies were exchanged, not necessarily in equal measure, but certainly much more so than they are today.
Mm-hmm.
sorry, we're kind of going back and forth between us and
No, that's fine. That's all good stuff.